Driver Carrington gets dumped by Benami. The leaders are winding up here. Daytona, the big one is out.
Good evening, race fans, and welcome to Martinsville Speedway, the STP 200, hosted, of course, today by the Camping Universe Truck Series. This is the 7th race of the series, and broadcasted by yours truly, Gareth McAllister, from Team Goon Squad, broadcasted live 1080p in 60 FPS, as well as we run our way through the grid at the Martinsville paperclip, it is going to be Jared Ziegler starting on pole. Derek Stanley, our fast Canadian, out on track starting in second. Brett Murphy in third position. Mitchell Mumma in fourth position. Tyler Aspinall starting fifth. Will Cloud starting sixth. Caleb Weekly in seventh position. Brady Floyd starting in eighth, our last week winner at Daytona. Ninth, we have Nicholas Wing starting in 10th. Brian Ziegler starting 11th. Jeffrey Sykes starting in 12th. We have Josiah Strauss starting in 13th. We have Ben McDonnell starting in 14th. We have Lucas Strayer. 15th is going to be John Bauer. 16th is going to be Chris Sawyer. And starting in 17th and rounding out our entire field is going to be the legend that is Nicholas Claiborne. Now, we are looking at quite the, I wouldn't say small, probably about a medium-sized sort of grid here. Martinsville not looking like a certain track that a lot of these drivers are willing to come to and commit some beaten up panels. We only have 0.5 of a mile to go for the entirety of this race. We have Norman King, or not for the entirety of this race, sorry, per lap for the 200 laps that we are going around the Martinsville paperclip. We have Norman King joining us in the spectator area. So good to see him as always. We love hearing from Mr. King, as I like to call him. Some interesting facts about Martinsville Speedway. Martinsville was originally founded in, well, the Speedway was founded in 1947, but the track was actually built and had their first race 1949, first big NASCAR race. And by 1976, they decided that they were going to basically take out, or repave, sorry, the asphalt that was on the inside of the corners. So now you have a 12-degree, very minor banking concrete slab that is chucked into the inside of both the corners here to give, well, it's not really, I originally would have thought it was to give a little bit more bite, but then I remembered that concrete does not do that. So, yeah, it turns out that it was basically put in there for durability because they got sick of repaving the track every time, every few years. It was getting eaten up by the long green flag runs under the pace of the cars getting faster and faster, and the track was just getting eaten alive. So they decided to repave it. So now you've got these very small, drag-like straightaways, very tight corners with concrete making it looser in the back end for these trucks. So certainly an interesting one to watch out for, as well as those huge, you can see them poking out there, huge curbs. You certainly don't want to hit those. We saw a couple of vehicles in practice hit those curbs on the inside there. And I just realized that I have the ticker and the tower up, so we'll get rid of the tower for now. And yeah, you certainly don't want to hit those inside curbs, as they will send those left side tires skyrocketing into the air, and you will have no cornering whatsoever, and potentially plow into the guy that is above you as we get ready to send them on their way. We are following Ziegler and Stanley as they head off to start this one off, and here we go. Lap 1 starting off. Jared Ziegler getting a great launch. Derek Stanley following him through. Our first battle on track is going to be Murphy and Mumma because of that great launch from Ziegler already. Stanley trying to send it a little bit deeper than Ziegler, it already looks like. So that Tundra just might actually have a little bit more forward bite than the Chevrolet does in the early goings of this run. Or maybe it's just the Canadian doing Canadian things and showing the Americans just how it's done. at their own home turf. Martinsville Paperclip. And we have a yellow flag out already. That is going to be Uma and Floyd, I believe. What am I looking at now? This is neither of those drivers. Oh, okay. Well, that happened as well. Oh, wait, is that some of it? It's been a long night. And it's only just beginning. Okay. Let's go back and have a look at that one again, because I have missed a whole bunch of things. So the 45 and the 98 get together. And that causes them to spin into the 20, the 2. Oh, he comes back on track, gets the 4. Oh, a whole bunch of carnage here already very early on in this one. Barely get my bearings on this. We have a message from Norman King saying, "Gotta hold those brakes," and I completely agree with him. But we'll get them stacked back up here. Get it rocking and rolling once again. Yeah, Stanley will have to watch out for the for those tires and heating up those brakes as well, going into corners as heavy as he was, as we saw him diving in quite deep. It's like, so it looks like we're going to have Nicholas Claiborne, Chris Sawyer, Mitchell Mumma, Caleb Weekly, Brady Floyd, and Jeffrey Sykes all involved in that one. And a lot of those drivers opting to come in, unsurprisingly. Get it all sorted out, get those body panels beaten and banged back into place as we follow the pace car around some more. Pace car's made the hard left turn. We've got Ziegler, Stanley, Murphy, Cloud, Aspinall, and Nicholas Wing bringing up your top 3 rows. We get ready to send them out. There goes again. Ziegler getting a huge jump. Stanley not quite able to make it stick with him as Murphy takes the position away. Definitely don't want to get outside of that small amount of concrete that you have, as even though you'd think the asphalt is forgiving, I don't believe the asphalt actually has any of that 12 degrees of banking to help you around, as well as it being the long way around the circuit. So not ideal for a couple of reasons, as it looks like the 45 is just getting a little bit loose. That's Tyler Aspinall almost getting into Stanley there. Falls in behind. Certainly is a one-lane track for the most part. We go a little bit further back in the field. It looks like Nicholas Wing is making his way around John Bauer. They're going to fall into single file line as well. As we just see all of those vehicles coming down. It's amazing to see just a big line of horsepower just making its way down these drag strips here. A lot of acceleration, a lot of braking, a lot of pedal action. Gonna have to be careful of not getting too many cramps in your feet during this 200 lap event. As your pole sitter and still leader Jared Ziegler knocks off the fastest lap of the race at the moment, a 19 second 72. just been beaten, as I say that, by Brett Murphy in 1960. So, we were seeing in practice that they were getting times around about that anyway, as we have another caution coming out. It looks like it's going to be Josiah Strauss involved in this one. And looks like that's Claiborne behind him. Disappears, comes back into existence. Not going to have anything to do with it though, as Strauss just sends it around, getting a little bit too eager. And that's the concrete we were talking about earlier. And you can see it really makes the trucks get loose in their rear end, and that sends them around, unfortunately. So we're going to have our second caution, as you can see the lineup on the left hand side of your screen there. I want to thank everyone for tuning in once again to the STP 200 at the Martinsville Speedway, also known affectionately as the Paperclip, to it being, I believe, the smallest track on the NASCAR calendar. I know it was a couple of years ago, and I'm pretty certain it still is there. It looks like we still have Mitchell Mumma and Brady Floyd in pit lane. You see Chris Sawyer is blinking out of existence a couple of times. Hopefully that doesn't get any worse than it already is. In 15 laps, your biggest mover of the race so far, Nicholas Claiborne, up 7 spots, as well as John Bauer, also up 7 positions. Both of them sitting 10th for Claiborne and 9th for Bauer. Not 9th, sorry. 8th for Bauer. He is in the DoorDash scheme, and it looks like he was part of that wreck. That's right. He was part of that damage earlier on, the first big incident. So he's going to have some damage at the rear end of that one. Thankfully, aero certainly not a factor at all in this one, being the small track it is. Lights are out on the pace car. It will come in next time by, as we have Ziegler starting in first. Murphy to his outside. Derek Stanley in third now behind Jared Ziegler. Tyler Aspinall in fourth. Will Cloud and Brian Ziegler starting in sixth. We get ready to get them underway once again. Ziegler with a huge launch, getting that going as quickly as he can. That Chevrolet machine wants to get out in front and stay there. As we saw it getting really dicey as Stanley tried to make a move onto the inside. A bit risky there. Not able to make it stick, and he's going to even lose a position. That's quite interesting. I didn't expect that to happen to Tyler Aspinall. Oh, a little bit of contact behind them. Oh my Jesus. Excuse me, but whoa! Okie dokie. We're gonna have a look at that from Will Cloud, because he was the other one involved in that one with Brian Ziegler, as 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 Brian's son was leading that one. Tags the wall, comes unfortunately out off the wall, collects Cloud, and Cloud just nowhere to go. Oh, and he's smoking as well. Is that from the end? Maybe, yeah, it's from the engine or the gearbox issues. Oh, that's not going to be good. I believe they do have a fast repair, though. I believe they do, so thankfully he should be able to get away with that one. Certainly doesn't want to get another one of those, though. Wow, 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 wow. That was huge. I don't think I can stress. I mean, you saw it. Oh, the launch. Space shuttle status, as they say. Oh, wow. We have McDonald, Cloud, and Ziegler coming in. McDonald joining them in the pit lane. So, interesting to see him come down. I assume it's to get some damage repaired from the lap 3, I believe it was, incident. Yes, there he is coming out now. He's going to join the field and stay on the lead lap with the rest of the drivers. 11 of the 17 starters are on the lead lap at the moment. But they may... I believe that is going to be it for the lead lap cars. Trucks. I'm trying desperately to stop making that mistake. And we get word from Norman King in the spectator area. No fast repairs, so that is gonna hurt for both of those drivers, for both Cloud and Ziegler. That's going to hurt massively. That's certainly no one's fault. Just getting a bit too overzealous there and just lightly tapping that wall, and that wall is unforgiving no matter where you go. Although in some tracks certainly more deadly than others, as paperclip, being the nature of it, is quite a thin raceway with not much room to work with. So very fortunate that no other drivers were actually involved in that one. Lights on the pace car go out once again. It's going to be Ziegler, Murphy, Espinal, Stanley, and Strayer and Bauer. Your top 3 rows from inside to outside. We've seen the inside lane get a bit of a jump, as we've seen lately, because Ziegler has been absolutely flying from the start. As we are about to go and we prepare. There it is. There's the launch. Ziegler with a huge launch as normal. We've seen him do that several times. Murphy sending it in deep, trying to get around Espinal as quick as he can. Looks like he's going to be able to do it. Fantastic stuff there. Strayer and Bauer going at it. Bauer's trying to hold Strayer down on that inside. Looks like he might actually be able to make that one stick as he goes just about in front. Definitely got to be careful blocking the door on the inside line, but looks like Strayer let him through. No ifs or woes or buts or worries there. Thankfully, because that could have been a disaster. Certainly a bit of give or take on a track like this is what is needed from all the drivers here. Strayer certainly wanting to have a good points day as well, as he still leads the point standings, regardless of a win or not. He certainly knows how to make his way into the top positions. Just waiting on him to get his first win. It will definitely be sooner rather than later. I can guarantee you of that. As it looks like we have a close battle here between Strauss and Wing. Strauss somehow still working with that truck. Look at the damage already sustained by that Chevrolet. That pit crew is definitely being put to the test throughout this one. Going to go back up front with Ziegler under pressure from Murphy now. Murphy definitely seeming to have something figured out, as he is closing the gap quite quickly. Oh, and it looks like Tyler Aspinall third place just behind them. You saw there getting very close to the wall. Luckily not quite tagging it. Whoa, as we see Murphy getting a little bit loose there. A little bit loose on the exit. Just maybe sending it a little bit too hard, trying to catch up to Ziegler. I know he wants that first place spot, but we have to remember that there are 200 laps in this event, and we are only up to our 33rd lap, so definitely a long way to go as we have another pass taking place, this one for third position. Stanley, the fast Canadian, trying to make his way around Tyler Aspinall, gets it done. Now we have seen Derek Stanley send it a little bit deeper into corner entry than some of the other drivers here, so definitely something to watch if his brakes or his tyres start to fade a little bit quicker than all the rest of these drivers. As this is definitely shaping up. We're going to go single filed, I believe, through the entire field so far. And one thing I haven't talked about yet is that there's going to probably be, if we get a long enough green flag run, there is going to be some traffic to be dealt with for these top drivers. Now they're going to be coming up on lap traffic, I believe, in not too long a time because of the fact that they have come out not too long ago out of the pit lane, so certainly something for Ziegler to come over the driver comms, and especially with Brett Murphy right on his tail end. But it may take a few laps for them to actually catch up to some of the lap traffic here, so he can focus on hitting his marks and keeping Brett behind him. Not sure how aggressive Brett wants to be. We already saw him lose the rear end a little bit earlier on in this run, so certainly something he probably doesn't want to push too much. But at the same time, you can probably smell the rubber coming off of Ziegler's back tires and is desperate to make something work. As we see a nice glow of the rotor there from Brett Murphy's vehicle. We have a battle taking place for 5th place. Straya going around Tyler Aspinall. Now, I'm not sure if Aspinall hit the wall or something, but he dropped a couple of positions there, so I would guess that, yes, he has. He's got some rear end damage and some right side damage, so yeah, just a little bit of minor stuff there, so as we get, you see Nicholas Claiborne really getting loose there, having to catch it, doing a fantastic job of catching that GoPro Ford. Your fastest Ford on track at the moment. I know I continuously say it, but definitely a slight bias towards the Blue Oval, as I own a real-life Blue Oval myself. As interesting, like he's going into the corners a little bit harder than some of the other drivers actually, so maybe that has something to do. You see him taking a little bit of a wider line, especially over Nicholas Wing, who doesn't seem to be taking as sharp an entry. You see Wing being a little bit smoother there, but not getting quite as far down, so not sure how that one's going to work out for the two drivers, but at the moment it looks like Wing might actually be catching him with being a little bit smoother, going a little bit wider. Certainly something to keep an eye out for as well. Have Straya trying to catch up to Bauer. Bauer has a bit of a distance now, almost 1.5 seconds to Derek Stanley in third position in front of him. As Straya looking like he goes very, very wide. Bauer, interesting, not playing the nice card, I guess. Not wanting to get too involved in anything major. Saw Australia coming and decided to give it to him. Certainly just almost a quarter of the way through this STP 200 at Martinsville, so definitely a while to go yet. As Strayer and Bauer, both your biggest movers at the moment, 4th and 5th on screen right now, both Toyotas. As they're both up 10 spots so far at the moment. Look up front because there is a battle forming. A big time battle forming. As we have Ziegler, Murphy, Stanley, 1, 2, 3. Definitely looking like the class of the field in this race so far. Ziegler getting a nice launch, leaving Brett Murphy a little bit to be desired there. The end of that one. We're going to watch a bit more of Brett Murphy. Stanley's looking like he wants to come up and say, hey, how's it going? Definitely wants to put his name in the mix as well. Even now, it looks like Stanley is really using a lot of the entry there. See, really sending it in deep. You can see him close it all up. Then, unfortunately, they get away from him on the exit because they're not sending it in as hard. You can see a bit more of a diamond sort of a shape. What I mean by that is they go from out to in at the ideal time of the apex, and then come back out to the outside of the track once again. Team Murphy's doing a fantastic job. Ziegler doing, I wouldn't say he's looking quite as tight to that apex, but potentially that's a good thing, because you might see Murphy accidentally tag that one, which would be ideal for anyone. But he's certainly getting it dialed in. You see Murphy making it work incredibly well. As he continues to work his way up to Ziegler and potentially try and fire away at that top spot. As you see lap traffic there coming into play. It looked like we had a battle a little bit further back. That Bauer? Thought it was. No, it's a little bit behind him. Wing is trying to overtake Mumma. Now, that would have been Bauer. Oh, okay, so he gets a bit loose. Espinol trying to get around him because of that error, not quite able to make it stick. But we have seen, so Mumma is currently, let's see if we can find, currently about 30 odd laps down, 36 laps down, as we have a caution come out. Brett Murphy, no! I don't want to jinx him. Not, well, it's already happened, but I almost think he's gotten a little bit too intense under those brakes. He was, yep, and that's what it seems. Tried to get the power down too early. And the concrete here is not forgiving in the slightest. As he goes around, no one else collected in that one. So, nice, slow, easy crash, avoided by everyone. And that is what we see, as we see a multitude of drivers coming down pit lane. So that is pit lane entry. There we go. We want pit lane exit. And we are going to see we have Strayer, Bauer, Murphy, Aspinall, Claiborne, Wing, Strauss, Sawyer, McDonald, Cloud, Ryan Ziegler, Brady Floyd, all down pit road. Some of them a couple laps down, some of them on the lead lap, coming down, grabbing some fresh rubber. As we get ready to send them again, we've passed a quarter of the way through this one. As that's a very nice, I quite like that camera angle there. The exit of pit lane. Quite a nice one to look at. As we have Ziegler, Stanley, Strayer, Bauer, Aspinall, and Claiborne making up your three front rows when they go side by side. We get ready to send them out once again. Ziegler, Stanley, Bauer, Strayer, Claiborne, and Aspinall. Your top three rows as Ziegler gets a jump once again. He knows how to make that one work. Bauer following him through. Looks like he's going to take over from Stanley. He does. Stanley probably not happy to see the rear end of the DoorDash machine in front of him as he almost collects him. What a time to say what we've just said. Strayer's going to try and take advantage of that one as well as he looks to the inside of Stanley. Oh, Stanley gets hung up to dry on the asphalt. Comes back down. Good stuff not to get that one too loose as he may, no, luckily able to get it down onto the concrete and get it stuck behind him. Unfortunately losing 5 spots in that process though. Definitely a huge loss as we've got Bauer looking to potentially take the lead away from Ziegler. Not quite making it work. Aspinall goes around, or stays in front of, I should say, Claiborne. As Bauer looks again. Bauer's going to make his focus. Oh no, Bauer's hit Ziegler and he spun him. He spun the pole sitter and the leader. There goes the caution flag. Not something we want to see. As we will have a look at that one. We already saw it live, and we're going to see it again on the replay. It looks like Bauer wanted to get higher on the outside and then curve it down to get a nice big run onto the next corner on the inside of Ziegler. Ziegler took the normal line and yeah, it looks like Bauer just got a little bit into him, was trying to get as much run as he could and just misjudged how slowly Ziegler would be going through that corner. So definitely shaking up the standings, this one. That's going to introduce our 5th caution of the night. And in case you missed it, I highly recommend going to see the last race the Camping Universe put on show. A fantastic, intense battle towards all the way through, especially at the end, as you expect to see with the big, long Daytona circuit. They were at Daytona last week. Brady Floyd picked up the victory. Not the night he has wanted so far in this one. Still in pit lane. It looks like he's actually coming out. Finally. No, he is not. He's still going to be staying in there. My timing was deceiving me, as he was involved in that lap 3 incident. But definitely a fun one to watch if you're anything like me and incredibly interested in super speedways. I absolutely love them. And that brings me on to my next point, I guess. I will bring it up later again, I'm sure. We have an off week next week for the Camping Universe guys. They have a well-deserved break after 7 weeks of non-stop action. And then they will be heading into Talladega, the big Dega. The big one is calling, and they will head over there after a much-needed break for these guys. As the pace car makes a very interesting sharp left turn there, we've got Bauer followed by Strauss on the outside. On Straya, sorry. Aspinall, Claiborne, Murphy, and Sawyer as they get underway. John Bauer making the door dash, dashing out fast, past through the field as Straya follows him through. Aspinall, Murphy, Claiborne looks like he almost turned into him, almost got in the back of him as well. Just behind them, there's a bit of a shove, and there they go at the back. Once again, we will have another caution. My oh my. Let's watch Nicholas Wing on this one. He was doing a fairly decent job of keeping the truck under him quite well, and it looked like they all just stacked up. Oh, and it looks like they stacked up and it wasn't going to be too bad of a checkup there. But it looked as though the number 14, that is, and that is going to be of Josiah Strauss. It looks like he just got on the asphalt, was trying to get it turned around, turned down to make the corner. Just got a little bit aggressive on the throttle, gets punted. I believe that's by Mumma. Yes, it is. And around they go. And I believe the 16 may have also been involved in that one. That is Ben McDonnell. Just a light little tap for him as they find themselves making the left turn down pit lane. These drivers certainly putting on a show for us tonight. This evening has been a good one. Martinsville Paperclip taking no prisoners. And with my list of facts continuing to grow, Martinsville Speedway hosts I believe their trophy is the grandfather clock, which is, depending on who you talk to, can be a cuckoo clock, or is it cuckoo? No. No, it's just a grandfather clock. I don't know why I said that. But, yep, it's a grandfather clock. It looks absolutely tremendous. And it is awarded to the winner every year. And I believe it symbolizes Martinsville being, I think, the oldest track, or the oldest raceway on the NASCAR calendar. I believe so. Someone can fact check that for me. I'm pretty sure I'm right though, as we've got Boyer, Strayer, Aspinall, Murphy, Claiborne, and Sawyer. As there they go. John Bauer getting away. Aspinall following him through. Strayer hung to dry on the outside. Looks like Murphy might take advantage. Not quite able to do that. Claiborne looking to get around Sawyer. He's got Ziegler, the pole sitter, and the race leader for a long time in behind him. And Derek Stanley behind him as he gets very, very close to hitting Chris Sawyer. Able to get it locked down, not managing not to hit the driver in front of him, as it looks like Ziegler is going to take advantage of that slight mistake. Stanley doesn't look like he's going to be able to follow him through though, as this one is getting a little bit hairy, a little bit towards the back here. But we'll go slightly up front, as it looks like there's a challenge for second place. Strayer trying desperately to hold on to that second spot, or third spot, sorry, from Murphy, as well as get the second spot from Tyler Aspinall, who's managed to work his way up there. Fantastic drive from him, as we see quite a bit of damage on that vehicle. We have our fantastic, lovable, big American host in the spectator area as well, Mr. James East. We do love a bit of an East. We love when East turns up, followed by West and North. South is, here or there. As we have an accidental nudge of the outside wall there. Strayer losing a spot to Murphy, but definitely not wanting to lose it as he keeps it going around the outside. Unbelievable drive. Look at that man go. I think I've said it before probably in past weeks, but I do love the combination of the purple and the black. And it's got the sunrise there, nice. It almost reminds me of like an 80s arcade machine, the color scheme on that one. Don't ask me why, but that is exactly why. Or how, or something. As we have Ziegler making a move on Murphy again. These two have been battling it out for a long, long time. But their last battle was in the position for first place. I mean, they're still fighting for position, but it is 4th and 5th now. As this battle continues to rage on. Just behind them, it looks like Claiborne, Stanley, and Wing are all going to be there, as well as Sawyer in front of them. It's a nice little 3-car, almost a 4-car battle, if Wing can just catch a slight amount up to them. As it looks like Claiborne just got a little bit loose once again. We've seen him do that a couple times tonight already. Ooh, careful, 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 careful. Stanley trying to send it in deep, get around Claiborne. I'm sure Stanley is not quite happy with the handling of his race car at the moment. We saw him start in P2. And certainly shutting the door on Claiborne. I'm not sure Claiborne's going to appreciate that one, as it looks like there he goes. And that's exactly what we expected to see. That's going to bring out another caution. And we'll look at this from Stanley shut the door big time. Claiborne looks like he wasn't entirely happy with that one. Just a little bit of a nick. And just moving him out of the way. Managing to lock it down though. Fantastic stuff from Stanley. Unfortunately, they were too wide behind him, so getting collected slightly there by Nicholas Claiborne. Looks like no one else was particularly involved in that one though, so good stuff from everyone. Locking it down, keeping the ball rolling. As we see the lucky dog making his way back around there. That was your number 14 driver of Josiah Strauss, who, even with the damage, now shows up as joining the lead lap. There he goes. So good on him for sticking it out, getting the lap back. There's a lot of damage on that vehicle, but he's making it work. And we like to see that. Never give up, as they say. It should never give up. Here he comes to serve his pit stop. There's the rest of the field. We can see catching up to the pace car now. Definitely some fast guys we've seen getting taken out during this run so far. You know, I'm going to go slightly off topic here, but Chris Sawyer, I can see they're sponsored by Budweiser. Now, I'm not typically an alcohol drinker, and we have our own brews, obviously, in Australia, but I decided I got conned by the Americans in NASCAR. I decided I was going to try a Budweiser, and certainly not my taste, let me put it to you that way. We were at a restaurant, and I was not entirely happy with my choice of beverage. But different strokes for different folks, and people have different tastes. I'm sure some people absolutely enjoy it. Certainly not one for me, though. As we get the trucks gridded up and ready to go again, it's going to be Murphy, Sawyer, your front row, Bauer, Claiborne, your second row, and Ziegler and Aspinall, your third row. As there's a big checkup. What is going on? Murphy not maybe just stalling out there. Not quite sure what happened. So it looks like Sawyer's going to take over the first place now. Claiborne trying to follow him through. Getting blocked once again. And that's going to cause another massive checkup behind. Somehow, some way, we do not have another caution. This is These drivers doing a fantastic job of not getting involved in anything major again. Claiborne is definitely having some rough competition around him, not giving him any room whatsoever. As it looks like Ziegler's going to take advantage of all the chaos, and there he goes. Claiborne once again involved, getting caught out. Mumma coming down, slapping into the back of Ziegler. Ziegler caught in a Ford and Toyota sandwich. All three manufacturers being involved in that one. We're going to have a slow look at Ziegler. Oh, Ziegler got a little bit. Whoa, a little bit of a touch. I missed that on the live viewer. It looks like he's just sent it in. There's a bit of a checkup. Yep, Claiborne had to check up because of Murphy, I believe that is, and Uma just arc of brakes in full effect, it looked like. And what I mean by that is that there is a running joke on the iRacing service. If you see a crash ahead of you, you just send it and pray that you're going to come out fine. Most of the time, that is not the case. Not sure if Muma, I highly doubt he deliberately meant to do that. It looked actually like he locked up the brakes. See there? Yep. Fronts were completely locked up. Just didn't have the space to do it. And all the drivers behind him, very lucky not to get more people involved in that one. So, get him racked up again. 8th caution, lap 103. We are on now. We are down to... Well, I'll wait for pit stops to cycle through before I count how many vehicles we have on the lead lap. But, nope, there it is. We have 10. So we've lost one in the last 3 or 4 cautions. We've lost one vehicle. So that's actually pretty monumental. I think we can be proud of everyone for that statistic at the moment. Looks like Stanley is now going to go a couple laps down. Join the lap down crew. Strauss and Claiborne coming back down pit road. There's a couple drivers making their way out just now. It's going to be as well. As well as Will Cloud and Brady Floyd. Claiborne has entered the pits. So has Strauss. We're going to see Strauss coming out, and so is Claiborne. They're going to get back onto the lead lap, getting some damage repaired while they can. Not much time to do it. It's going to be Will Cloud coming out in between those two vehicles as well. As we see the grid start to stack up double file. And we get ready to go underway once again. The sharp left turn has been made. Chris Sawyer on the inside line, on the outside Bauer, Aspinall, Murphy, your second row, McDowell and Strayer, your third row. Sawyer not getting the launch that we've seen Ziegler get before. Bauer's able to get a pretty damn good launch, and as he sends it into the high side, not able to make it work. Ooh, almost, actually. Looks like something could have happened there. Brett Murphy's trying to go to the inside of Aspinall. Aspinall not wanting to make that happen, as he's going to hold tough on that outside line. Looks like Strayer and Ziegler are going at it just behind them as well. And in front, Sawyer's gone way wide, way up the track. Not sure what went on with that one. That's an unfortunate miss by the camera on our end. Looks like he might have just sent it in a little bit deep. And looks like he's continuing to send it in a bit deep. I wonder how the brakes are faring on that one. As that Chevrolet does not seem to be braking the way he wants it, as you see him brake quite early and quite hard on that corner as well. So just trying to keep the truck underneath him and keep it going as we have more double wide action. Murphy trying to go into Aspinall. Ziegler just behind him. Ziegler's giving him a shove. Go, go, go. What are you waiting for? Says Jared Ziegler, as he is trying to push Murphy through. Murphy getting overtaken by Strayer on the outside potentially. That's the first or second time we've seen the outside work from all the way behind the car in front. A fantastic job there. Ziegler saw, thought, hey, that worked for Strayer. Should be able to work for me too. So he's going to try and send it on the outside of Murphy as well. Murphy doesn't want to have a bar of it though. Murphy holds him back behind. Murphy looks like he's entering a little bit higher now to block that potential outside run. So certainly, certainly the paperclip doing its job of getting these drivers a little bit heated inside their trucks, and lot of interesting moves being played. Strayer attacks Aspinall. All eyes are focused though on Murphy and Ziegler. This is really heating up. It's getting very intense. As Ziegler tries to go for a little bit more of the diamond effect we were talking about earlier. Trying to get a bit more of a run on the outside. Not quite able to make it happen. Ziegler, I'm sure, very frustrated about getting spun around earlier on. I can't remember, was that actually by Murphy? It might have been. I almost wonder if it was. I can't quite remember, but if it was, that explains the shove a little bit earlier, as Nicholas Wing showing up as having an accident, and that's going to bring out our next caution. Claiborne on the inside. Surely nothing to do with Claiborne again. No, Wing just sent it in a little bit too deep on the high line. And there he goes, bringing himself around. Well, they were too wide, just a little bit back behind him, but luckily no one gets involved. Just a tiny bit of a self-spin. That concrete taking no prisoners on the inside line. On the outside line, I should say. As we are showing some drivers coming down pit lane. All of them look like they have a little bit of residual damage or tire wear that they need to get sorted out. So that is certainly what looks like is going to happen. As we have the odd pit lanes here, being such a small half-a-mile track. We've got the got some pit boxes on the actual corner, which, while it's a bit awkward to get into, it's actually much easier to get out of. So as long as you don't miss it, you're able to get a good launch, and you shouldn't have any traffic to really bother you, as you can really use the corner to launch that that truck as quickly as you can once you dump the clutch. As we have Bauer, our top mover of the race at present time. 14 spots he's made up to be in that top spot. As we wait for the pace car, that nice iRacing Mustang, to make its way around once or twice more until we see those lights go out. And the lights are out on the pace car, so it's going to make the hard left turn. A very interesting looking left turn, as the pace car driver in there wants to get out of the way as quickly as possible. We've got Bauer, Aspinall, your first row, your second row, Strayer and Murphy, and your third row is going to be Claiborne and McDonnell. We haven't talked about McDonnell so far this race very much. Nice to see him up the front, as we've got Bauer making a nice big run. Aspinall not quite getting the jump he wanted, as Strayer's going to take that position away. Claiborne, they're getting White close behind them. Claiborne and Murphy going at it. Sawyer trying to follow Claiborne through on the inside. Murphy is not having it. He's sticking high on the outside. Sawyer could have gone 3 wide there. Probably chose better of it as potential 3 wide behind him. Not quite, as it looked like McDonald chose the smart decision and stayed away from that one. Claiborne going around. There it is again. That's not what you want to see. Get it spun around here. Nice. Alright, what happened here? Let's have a look. Ah, he's hit that inside curb. We talked about that before. Ziegler nowhere to go. McDonald nowhere to go. That truck spun around, yep. Not much else to say about that one. Just hit the inside curbs, and unfortunately that's it's just the way it goes. The way it happens sometimes. You can see the bounce. Just lost all grip on the left side, sorry. And it just went around. Ziegler wanted to go high to avoid it, but realized he couldn't because there was a car there of Sawyer. So he got tagged slightly. As well as McDonald also getting a little bit of damage there. Thankfully, it didn't look like any major damage, but it's certainly something that won't be nice to have on the truck. So we are on our 10th caution, 125 now, laps in, as you saw the number change as they literally just crossed the line. And I believe we have 10 cars on the lead lap. So we had 9 before, and the cautions have brought a lucky dog some lucky day, and he is back on the lead lap with them. Jared Ziegler, our pole sitter, definitely has had a rough time back here in traffic, but still able to click off some very quick lap times, and matching the leader's pace at the moment. Well, not at the moment, because we're under caution, so of course he's matching it at the moment. He's matching it just before the caution came out, so yeah, he's certainly making his way to the front once again, where he probably thinks he rightfully deserved, as that is where he started off this race. Be very interested to see what happens when he catches up to Bauer, as Bauer was the first one who gave him a little bit of a shove, a little bit of a spin, so we may see just a little bit of a friendly bump and run. Just hey, you race me like that, I'll race you like that as well. Interesting if we see that happening as we continue this one. We are going to have the restart coming in soon. It will be Bauer and Strayer, your front row, followed by Aspinall and Murphy, your second row, and Jared Ziegler and Nicholas Wing in your third row, making up your top 6 drivers. Ziegler already giving a little bit of a shove to it looks like that's Tyler Aspinall, as Bauer really backs out before he gets going. Strayer looks like he's going to get... And there's a wreck already. Ziegler looks like he may have... Well, he definitely was involved in that one. We will have a look at that pretty much now. As... Oh, there's a bit of a bump from Brett Murphy there. Oh, a bit of a bump for Aspinall as well. And Ziegler trying to make it 3 wide, desperate to make something happen. Potentially not happy with Murphy There goes Murphy going around. And Brian Ziegler coming in, getting stopped. Good job there. Safety car, you can see, starting to roll out. All right, let's go back and have a look at this one. Once again, as we will grab a better view than that. Yeah, you can see just Straya getting punted twice in a row. Ziegler deciding, I can see a gap there. I'm going to take that. 3 wide at the paperclip. Probably not the smartest move. Somehow they're actually able to fit. I'm surprised they're all able to fit on the concrete. But proving that even if you can fit them side by side, probably not the best idea to do it anyway. As Wing was also involved in that one, as he gives Ziegler a tiny nick from behind as Ziegler has to check up for Murphy going around. And there we have it. 11th caution of the race so far. 131 laps to the good. I must admit, I do love NASCAR. I do love oval racing. There's always a lot of action, and this track here in Martinsville, certainly one that is typical of a lot of very close, very heated action, as it's quite a straining circuit on the drivers, being such a small, tight track, a lot of traffic around. A lot of changes in surface as you go from the transition between concrete and asphalt, or bitumen. I believe asphalt and bitumen are the same stuff, so whichever way you call it. But either way, certainly these trucks are being lit up. Their brakes are being lit up for sure. As we're getting ready to go again. John Bauer, Lucas Straya, your first row. Tyler Aspinall, Jared Ziegler, your second row. Chris Sawyer and Brett Murphy, your third row. So Murphy not actually getting ruined too much by that caution, as Bauer's going to check up the field behind him, going a slow start. There he goes, dashing away from the field with the DoorDash machine. Straya trying hard to get down on the inside, keeping Aspinall behind him, manages to do it. Ziegler passing Aspinall on the outside, potentially because Straya checked Aspinall up. Aspinall not wanting that to take place. Looks like Ziegler's going to make it happen whichever way he wants, whether it's wanted or not. Aspinall gets him a little bit of a shot, looked like a little bit of netcode, but Abbott able to keep it down underneath him. Murphy's going to take advantage of that one. And Murphy's going to send it in there between those two. Fantastic way to hold the vehicle, starting to head sideways once again by Jared Ziegler. Chris Sawyer just behind. Fantastic run for him. Up 10 spots from where he started. Budweiser-backed Chevrolet. We have a new best time set by our second position truck at the moment, Lucas Straya. 19.6. Not the fastest in the race, but definitely close. Fastest in the race, I believe, is a 19.5. So, excuse me, 19.60, and he said a 19.61. So, pretty much on the bubble of getting the fastest lap. As he is tracking down Bauer, something fierce. So we have still the battle between Ziegler and Murphy. I certainly don't want to pay too much attention away from this one, as these two drivers have been butting heads quite a bit as of late. Ziegler gets a much better run than Murphy on the bottom there. Not quite able to stick it in as deep as he wanted though. Oh, as we've just barely missed that one. As Bauer looks like he was slow on the high side. Not sure if he was letting Straya go by there. As Aspinall gets tags the outside wall. That's going to allow Murphy to catch up a little bit. Thankfully not too much, as Martinsville being the small track it is. Bauer obviously not wanting to risk any sort of bad situation, as he probably saw Straya coming up and said, hey, you know what? It's fine. I'm really wanting a good points day. Please don't hit me. And Straya saying, okay, I'll take that one from you then. That's all good. I want the lead anyway. So Straya, desperate for his first win in the series, already leading the season anyway. So definitely providing a huge gap, as he's only leading the next car back, which is Brady Floyd, by a 3-point margin. So Brady Floyd, definitely not the day he's wanted to have seen, as he's actually 70 laps down, as he was involved in that lap 3 incident incredibly early on. Big crash back there, as we've got Ziegler still tracking down Murphy. Still within 0.2 of a second, 3/10 of a second. And this battle just continues to heat up. That is Mitchell Moore behind them. He is not racing for position, as he is quite a number of laps down. So we hope that he does not get involved in this battle in any which way. But still trucking along, and I certainly like to see the lap down cars keep going. Because why not? They paid for the circuit, they paid for the track, they might as well use it. And I personally always have fun, no matter where I am on track. I just like driving cars, I guess. As they both hit the inside curb, but Murphy hits it quite a lot more than Ziegler. Ziegler looking to send it in deep to try and take it away. Murphy getting doing a fantastic job. I have to say that again, of getting it dialed into that corner after that little bobble. That inside curb has not taken many prisoners, but the ones it has sent them careening into that outside wall quite quickly. As Straya, Bauer, and Aspinall have made their way, 1, 2, and 3, have made their way a decent gap ahead of these two, and a decent gap between all of them as well. Certainly, this is where we want to have the action seen. There's Murphy looking a little bit loose there. Ziegler not close enough to have a jump at it, though, unfortunately. Oh, I don't know if anyone else saw that, but to me it looked like Murphy was getting loose as Ziegler got loose on the outside as well. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. And we heard it. We heard it before we saw it. Wing goes around. This battle will cease for the moment. Small ceasefire in effect as the caution comes out. And it's going to be Nicholas Wing. We heard it up here in the broadcast booth while we were focused on the other battle. And I think that's going to be a self-spin, I believe. There he goes. Sent it in a little bit too deep. Wing's been having a fantastic run so far. As much damage as he has on that vehicle. But able to get it locked down and join back in without any traffic really having any issues. So good stuff all around. And we have a large trip down pit road. Ziegler not opting to come down with them. That's an interesting strategy move we see. So we see Straya, Aspinall, Strauss, Bauer, Chris Sawyer as well. All coming out of pit lane. There's going to be Nicholas Wing as well. Here he comes. Brett Murphy just behind him. That's him going there. As very intrigued to see Ziegler obviously favoring track position over tyres, as he last pitted at lap 115 and we are at lap 154. So interesting strategies, 100% interesting strategies. Strauss comes down pit road. I believe that was him making his way around, possibly staying out as well, or was he a lap down? But either way, he's now come in. He's going to get his tyres done. And he is also going to be on that lead lap pit strategy. So pit strategy, something I didn't expect to have a massive role in this one, if I'm brutally honest. But looks like it will be doing just that, as we now only have 8 vehicles on the lead lap. That is, if Strauss can make it out of pit lane before the pace car makes its way down. There goes Strauss on his way out. Beaten and banged up, but still trucking along. We have 8 vehicles on the lead lap. Your top mover of the race, Lucas Straya, up 12 spots. Followed closely by Aspinall and Bauer. Not Aspinall, sorry. Bauer and Sawyer behind Aspinall. So pace car lights are out. Here he goes again. We're going to have Ziegler, Straya, Aspinall, Boyer, Sawyer. Bauer, sorry. Sawyer and Nicholas Wing once again in the top 3 rows. Side by side, inside to outside, as we got Ziegler getting a nice run once again on those old tyres. We'll see how long they last. Tyler Aspinall following him through. Straya not able to get the power down. We saw him struggle a little bit with the tail happiness of that truck. Bauer making his way through the Budweiser car. Lucas Straya making his way on the outside of Aspinall. Looks like he's actually going to make it stick there. Maybe, was he going to make it? Yeah, Aspinall lets him go. Oh, he's going to make the jump onto Ziegler here. Maybe try and take advantage of those new tyres. Not quite able to make it work. Went a little bit too wide. Bauer's trying to make it. And there goes Aspinall. And he takes Bauer with him. Caution's out. Everyone back it down. There we go. No one else involved. Oh, a little bit of a nudge. Little bit of a nudge there between McDonnell and Wing, I believe. But that was accidental, as they were trying to get back up to speed after slowing down for the caution. Didn't realize each other were there. So we're going to take one look at this one, as it's going to be Aspinall just sending it in a little bit deep, definitely not wanting to give that spot away to Bauer as well as he did Straya earlier. And Bauer, an unfortunate victim in that self-spin, hitting the outside wall quite hard. Everyone else doing a good job of staying out of any major incident. This wing, and I can't stress enough how great a job, I believe that's Will Cloud, did behind Nicholas Wing there, as that is Will Cloud, as it is very hard to see the trucks in front of you when you're right behind them, especially when they check up as quickly as they did just in front of him. So fantastic job there to not get into the back of Nicholas Wing by Will Cloud. No one coming down pit road? We have Claiborne coming down pit road. My apologies. There is Claiborne sitting on pit lane at the moment. It's showing him as 1 lap down, so Strauss is coming in. It's a couple of trucks coming in now. So we have Strauss and Bauer coming down pit lane, possibly wanting to get out of traffic. A bit worried about how that one's going to shape down. There goes Claiborne catching up to the field. Getting used to seeing all these drivers' paint schemes and knowing who I'm looking at. It's taken me a little bit too long to get used to it, but I feel like I'm finally getting used to it now, and I can call quite well about who is where and what is going on with who. I hope that's a stationary camera and not a cameraman, because I'm sure he doesn't get paid enough if that is a cameraman there. Oh boy. Dangerous position to be. As there we go. Apologies, I actually switched cameras a little bit earlier than that, but I had a little bit of a technical glitch. It's fixed now. It's all good. Jared Ziegler, Strayer, Sawyer, Murphy, Aspinall, and Wing making up your 3 front rows. My timing software is struggling something very difficultly at the moment. Please fix yourself. We're going to call it anyway. Ziegler getting a good jump. Sawyer getting an unfortunate event into 3rd spot. Now, no, that wasn't Sawyer. That was Strayer. What am I talking about? Strayer sending it in deep, 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 deep. As he tried to make something happen that probably was never going to happen. To go to the outside of Murphy and Aspinall. Going to try and get our stuff reloaded here as Ziegler showing in 1st. Sawyer in 2nd. Aspinall in 3rd. Murphy in 4th. And Strayer in 5th. As we have, that was not a battle or part of position. That was Mitchell Wummer going around Will Cloud. In the background there, you just saw, we have 8 cars, 8 trucks still on the lead lap. Please show me my... Why are we not? Oh, come on. We're just going to call it anyway. Ziegler getting followed very closely by Sawyer, Aspinall, Murphy. Strayer a little bit further back, getting charged on by Bauer and Wing. Bauer just got recent tyres, so he came down very quickly. Josiah Strauss is also following him back there in the 8th position, the last truck on the lead lap, as we almost have another wreck, as Sawyer getting very, very close proximity to Aspinall just behind him. Sawyer still under pressure by Aspinall here. Not sure why our live timing is deciding to have a bit of a hissy fit, but we'll make this one work, as it looks like Sawyer, the Budweiser car, not able to get it locked down. Just in front of him, Strayer's going to take over that spot. Murphy looked like he was in a rush, as he's also making his way around. Aspinall trying to charge up to Ziegler. Brett Murphy still trying to find a way to catch up to Aspinall. Actually looking like he's gained quite a lot of ground in a very, very short amount of time since I last spoke about him. Only about a lap or 2 ago, but he's made a lot of ground up already. We're going to try and get our lap our timing software back up and running? I certainly hope we can. As it looks like Murphy is going to let Straya go by. Straya's definitely looking like he wants something to happen. Ziegler keeping Aspinall behind him. Aspinall obviously looking very desperate for a run here. Let's see if we can... Please, why is my timing software not working with me? That's okay. Oh, as Aspinall goes around, collecting Ziegler. No, that's not what he wanted at all. Oh no. Back it down, back it down, back it down, back it down. I can't tell if there's a caution. I'm sure there is one. Yes, there is. There has to be. As a caution has come out for that one. See if the timing software allows us to do a replay, as it's not seeming to want us to do much else. Try and see if we can get this one loaded up. Yes, here we go. Yes, we can. I'm so thankful that that at least works. Looks like Aspinall tried to make the move, made the dive. Ziegler either didn't see it coming or tried a little bit of a block. Didn't allow enough room. Aspinall kept his foot in it, it looks like. And Ziegler just could not hold on to it. Ziegler goes round. Tags Aspinall again. Just going in there. And the field coming around behind him. Ziegler not holding the brakes. Murphy, I'm sure, not happy about that. They look eye to eye, staring each other down. As I believe the cone was an unfortunate victim there of Brett Murphy. There it goes. That poor green cone. It tried its hardest. It was doing its job. Oh, and there it goes. It's back. As Ziegler gets it dialed back down. Good hold there to keep it going. And so our timing software seems to be working up here in the booth. However, it's not showing our leaderboard or any of that on the screen for you at home. I deeply apologize with what is currently happening. I hope all is good on the broadcast end. Alrighty, the hard left turn is made by the pace car. Tyler Aspinall starting in first. Straya starting in second. Chris Sawyer, John Bauer in fourth place. Jared Ziegler and Nicholas Wing in sixth. Aspinall gets a beautiful launch. First time we've seen anyone get a launch like that since Ziegler at the start of the race. Lucas Straya following suit behind him. John Bauer trying to get around Chris Sawyer. Does so on the outside. Ziegler almost gets into Sawyer as Sawyer allows that pass to happen. Checks up a little bit. Murphy behind Ziegler. He's looking to make the move. This is the battle between the two vehicles that we have seen rage on something crazy throughout this event here tonight at the Paperclip. Ziegler is going to let Murphy take that one away from him this time by. So we have Tyler Espinal currently leading. Lucas Strayer only, well, going for a dive almost. Only 0.2 of a second behind him. John Bauer in third, racking it up, trying to get it low down. Just a little bit behind them. Brett Murphy and Chris Sawyer fighting for 4th and 5th spot. But it looks like there's a bit of a decent gap as we have 9 cars on the lead lap this time round. Tyler Aspinall definitely keeping that truck underneath him. Doing a fantastic job of staying out in front of Strayer, who is 100% desperate for his first win. And he will probably send it as quick as he can. 187 laps they will be coming to at the line as Murphy makes his way around Bauer to take away the 3rd spot on the grid, as he must be desperate for an interview and talk to me to make that move. As Strayer, there he goes. He's going to make the move on to Tyler Aspinall. Ball gets a little bit wide. Aspinall sending it in deep. Definitely not wanting to give up that first position. They're still side by side down the front stretch. Strayer on the inside. Aspinall on the high side. They're still side by side. Murphy looking almost like he was thinking about going 3 wide. Thought smarter of it. Probably a good decision, as Strayer's just about to clear Aspinall. Aspinall not wanting him to clear him. Aspinall still hanging tough on the high side. What a fantastic battle we are witnessing. Murphy sends it in, not wanting to see it, and he causes a accident to happen there. And we are going to be under caution once again. Aspinall getting absolutely planted by Murphy in that one. Murphy not leaving him any room whatsoever. Aspinall, unfortunately, the bearer of bad luck in that one. Murphy looks like he almost took himself out as well. Yeah, he did a little bit. Round he goes. And, oh, don't start going there. Well, that was close, yeah. All right. Oh no, was Claiborne involved in that one? You saw Claiborne just barely make his way around Tyler Aspinall. Aspinall had it locked down when he spun round. Oh, Cloud just barely made it through. Aspinall as well followed him. So, good stuff from these drivers, not to get anyone else involved in this. As we continue to follow the drivers around under pacing conditions. I don't know why I'm saying it like that. There we go. All right. So we have Josiah Strauss, who has come in to pit lane. And he looks like he's going to try and make something happen. He's been on pit road for about 18 seconds, 19, 20. It's climbing. And I don't think he made it out in time. So he, I believe, will go a lap down. And we will have 8 laps. 8 vehicles, sorry. 8 trucks under the original original lap. God, I'm muddling up my words. Oh no. We're showing Strauss as he's come out now, and we're showing him as, yes, he has stayed on the lead lap. So there we go. Jeez, that pit crew must have had an absolute workout to get that 14 machine back up in shape. So we have Lucas Strayer, John Bauer, Chris Sawyer, Jared Ziegler, Nicholas Wing, Nicholas Claiborne, Brett Murphy, Tyler Aspinall, Josiah Strauss. Our top 9 trucks in our top few rows. And they will be the only ones on the lead lap. Australia gets a nice run. Bauer not having anything to do with it. Looks like there was another caution flying behind them. Got Claiborne and Wing showing up as a crash. I think that would have been just a checkup crash potentially. No, because Wing's on the inside. Claiborne. Murphy's just behind them. Don't tell me Murphy tried to send it 3 wide. Looks like he did. Yes, he did. And tags Wing, and Wing just slams into Claiborne. Nothing he could do. Oh, the 45 as well got involved in that one. That was Aspinall. As we're going to have a look at how he got involved in this one. As Murphy sending it where he really should not be sending it. And just tagging 2 other drivers. Aspinall, oh, unfortunately just tags Wing. Wing not able to hold it against the fence. And everyone seems to have got out of it pretty unscathed for the most part. But Brett Murphy, I guess he's lucky to get away with that one. I wouldn't be surprised if the stewards have a word with him towards the end of this run. Been making some interesting moves, let's put it that way. I'm not here to say right or wrong. I'm here to be as impartial as I can be. Though sometimes I wonder about the things I see. But at the same time, you know, I'm sure the tempers are flaring. The drivers just want to get this one done and over with. And we're very, very close to the end. In fact, this will be a green-white checkered. We have 3 green-white checkered events. Green-white checkered attempts. There we go. And they will have 3 attempts to get this one dialed in. Now, green-white checkered, what that means is that they are going to have to drive under... they're basically going to get the green flag, going to do, which will be also the white flag, I believe. No, they won't be. 1 lap of green flag, then they go around, they make it to the white. If they can make it to the white without another caution, the next flag ends the race. So even if they have a caution on the final lap, that will be the finishing results, or if they make it to the end. I don't actually think a caution flag can fly once the final flag flies. But either way, that's how it will end. If we do not get another single lap in by the time another caution flag comes out, then we will rack them up, stack them up, and do it all over again. Another 2 times maximum before the finishing results say, Kaputski, we're done, everyone head home. So we have Strayer and Bauer, your top 2. Jared Ziegler and Chris Sawyer in 3rd and 4th. Aspinall and Murphy in 5th and 6th. Strayer getting a huge lead. Bauer looks like he wanted to give him as much of a lead as possible so he could predict the jump. Bauer getting a little bit too crazy with the throttle there. sticking it high on the outside. Sawyer's going to take advantage of that. This will be a great day for Sawyer if he can finish in that second spot. It looks like he may be able to. Murphy's looking like he's pushing Bauer off the circuit, trying to get that third place underneath him. As the white flag will fly. And our final corner, Murphy hitting it. Sawyer looks like he's traveled way up. Shreya's traveled way up. Murphy's trying to send it. Murphy manages to get the third place just ahead of Bauer by 0.04 of a second. You cannot get very much closer than that. Now that was a race if I've ever seen it. Streya, fantastic run from him. 13 spots he's made up, getting a few congratulatory bumps, I'm sure, for the finish there as he finds himself having his first ever win in the series. 100% definitely well deserved as he has been the points leader for, I think, almost the entire season at this point. So great to see him finally managing to take home the checkered flag. Alright, so I'm going to try and see if the results at least show up. And it doesn't look like they will, so we're going to roll through it real quick. Your leader, winner, Lucas Streya. Second place, Chris Sawyer. Third place, Brett Murphy. Fourth, John Bauer. Fifth, Jared Ziegler. Sixth place, Tyler Aspinall. Seventh place, Josiah Strauss. Eighth place, Nicholas Claiborne. Ninth place, Nicholas Wing. 10th place, Mitchell Mumma. 11th place, Brady Floyd. 12th place, Will Cloud. 13th place, Brian Ziegler. 14th place, your fast Canadian, not having the night he wanted at all, Derek Stanley. 15th place, Ben McDonald. 16th place, Caleb Weekly. And 17th, you have Jeffrey Sykes. Now, we are going to get our finishers up here in the booth with me, and we will give them a bit of a talk. So here we go. Up first is Brett Murphy. Brett Murphy, you got a copy?
Yeah, what's up?
What's going on, man? It looked chaotic as all hell. What? How did you feel about that one?
Oh man. Well, I got my chat banned kind of early in the race for disruptive chatter. I'm not really sure what that was about. So pretty much from then on out, I couldn't say anything over the chat. I got knew a couple people, so I got a couple people that are pretty upset with me after this race. But hey, I mean, I worked the top three in there, so that's not too bad.
Not too bad at all. I mean, that was a hell of a fight coming to the line. What was your strategy throughout the race? Was it just send it in deep, or
More
what?
or less, it was just kind of survive because a lot of cars ended up dropping out early or getting in wrecks, and I was just lucky enough where I was up front. But yeah, it was kind of just the name of the game was survival tonight, and I guess I did the third best job of doing that. So, but I'm pretty happy. I had a fun time out there despite all the cautions, but it was still pretty fun.
Yeah, well, we certainly had a lot of fun calling it. As I just want to make a small shout out to the paint scheme you have on there. Is that brand new for this race, or am I seeing things?
It's a little. I changed it up just a little bit. I just put some of my Limitless logos on there because it's one of the groups I run with, and they're a good group of guys. So I just threw that on there. But yeah, no, this is the scheme that I try to run most of the time. I was just changing up the last few weeks. So
Okay, well, sounds good. Well, we'll let you celebrate your beautiful third place. I'm sure you're very happy with it, as you said earlier. So, any friends, family, sponsors you'd like to shout this one out to?
yeah, shout out to Chris and John. They were pretty good. John with the disruptive chatter, and then shout out to Strayer for finally getting the dub. I'm his teammate in a couple other leagues, but not this one. So it's nice to see him finally get a win.
All right, great stuff. As I'm sure we'll see you up here soon, in not too long a time, as we've seen you definitely have the pace. So we'll see you again up here soon. I'm sure of that.
Thank you. I hope the next interview is in Victory Lane.
Sounds good. Catch you then.
Bye.
All right, that was your third spot, Brett Murphy. And we will get Chris Sawyer up in here. Chris Sawyer, how's it going?
Oh, man. Pretty good. How about yourself?
Did you just get back from having a celebratory drink, or what happened there?
No, I didn't. I didn't have no drink. I'm sitting there pretty much sweating there. That was pretty intense for all 200 laps.
Oh, absolutely. We saw it absolutely knuckle down racing. The end there, I could not believe how close that finish was. You managed to hold on to second. We saw you make your way through the field throughout the course of the race. Was any strategy involved in that, or was that basically survival?
Well, I mean, there at the start, it just, everybody kept getting eliminated, and the rest of it was just survival. I mean, you put yourself in the top 5, and you just hope you stay there.
Oh, sounds good, man. So Budweiser's a sponsor. This is part of the reason why I was talking about the drink earlier on. Do you ever have a buddy?
Oh yeah, we're gonna throw back a couple of cool ones here lately.
Sounds absolutely great. All right, well, rocking a number very close to my heart, number 25. I certainly love it. And any friends, family, sponsors you'd like to shout out the second place to? Fantastic drive from you today.
Yeah, I want to thank my teammates, Derek Stanley, Mitchell Muma, Brett Murphy. They helped me out all race long, and with setup advice and stuff like that. So I got to give a shout out to those folks, and congrats to Lucas on the win. I gave him a shot going into 3, and he was able to hold on to it. So good job for him.
All right, great stuff. Fine words. Everyone congratulating our brand new winner. So we'll get him up here soon, and I'm sure he'll say his thanks as well. So great racing, Sawyer, and we'll see you in Victory Lane, I'm sure, not too long in the future.
Sounds good, man. Appreciate it.
All right, that was Chris Sawyer, and now you know who we've got to bring up now. Where is this man? Lucas Estrella.
What's up?
What's going on, man? You must be absolutely over the damn moon.
Of all the race, you would have shown me the schedule, and I had to pick what race I'd actually win at. I wouldn't have picked this race. Terrible at Martinsville. I think even practice, I think I was 16th fastest. I think I qualified. Yeah, I qualified 14th. So to say I won is incredible. Yeah, I mean, I kind of just survived, and as the race kept going, I just kind of figured it out, I guess. I don't know if maybe the night helped me more than it should, but yeah, I did not expect to win this. I don't know really what to say. I even thought I was telling the guys on the restart, I'm like, okay, boys, this is what's gonna happen. I'm gonna restart. I'm gonna mess up a brake zone somehow. I'm gonna go spinning into the corner and crash. So you two start preparing your speeches because one of you is winning. And then I almost messed up and Chris tried to give me a bump. He was nudging me, and I almost overcorrected to the moon there, just trying to hang on to it. So yeah, I won. I don't know what to say.
Well, how about you just you can start off by saying thanks to Sawyer and Murphy. They gave you a big shout out up here in the booth already.
Yeah, I mean, I race with those guys all the time. I know Brett brought up that I race with Brett a lot. And I don't really win. I think I'm the definition of this league. I will finish top 5 every week, but I'll just never win. So, yeah. So getting a win here is pretty cool. I know we're going to Double Dega, so that's gonna be interesting to see if I can keep my top 5 streak going. And then I'm excited for Chicagoland. But yeah, Brett and Chris just fun guys to race with. Chris gave me a classy bump. That was, if he would have held on to it a little better and didn't slide as much, I think he actually could have got me. but I think he had to dive pretty big for that. So, yeah. Happy for Gret Marketing. Happy for Sean Howe Designs. Happy for Adra because I told Brady I was going to crash out, and I won. So, fantastic week.
Well, I don't know how I can add much more to the excitement that you're currently going through, but yeah, it looks like congratulations from all the drivers in this league, and I got to say it again, you won. Like
I
you've
know.
been at the top for so long, and it's about time you finally got the win that you definitely deserved. And it was a great race, as you said. Coming back, you made up 13 spots throughout the entire course of this event. So
Yeah, I was waiting to choke it away. I kind of did on that one restart where I think I was second to, was it Jared? And I spun the tires, almost crashed and fell back to fifth. And I was like, up there we go. That's how I'm going to choke this race away. So, thank you to Brett for not turning me there.
all right,
But
well,
yeah, so we won. Woo!
you're damn right you did. Hell yeah. All right. Well, you've already given friends, family, and sponsors some shout outs, but do you want to shout them out again?
um, I want to thank the Academy as I accept this award, as I had to slap my way to the top to get to it.
Will you take home your grandfather clock here at the Martinsville Paperclip?
Oh, I got no room for that. I'm gonna go find a spot for that. Thank you. I'm gonna put it in the back of my truck and carry it home redneck style.
Sounds like a plan to me. Fantastic talking to you, mate. And
Uh,
can't wait to see you in the booth more often because you 100% deserve it.
Thanks, man. I hope I'll be back in 2 weeks. You got off next week, so hopefully I'll be back in 2 weeks.
Sounds good. Good luck at Dagger.
Thanks, man. Bye.
All right, that was Lucas Strayer. Thanks to everyone for tuning in to tonight's broadcast of the Camping Universe Truck Series. This was the STP 200 at Martinsville Speedway. This was the 7th race of the season. Next week, Camping Universe has a week off. So we won't be here for next week, but we will be here the week after for the Talladega Double. As you heard, some of the drivers very interested to see how that one pans out. So we'll see you then in 2 weeks' time, same place. So good night, everyone. Thank you for tuning in, and see you all later.